I said 5 pages long, lots of things said. But let's just start by saying this is not in court yet, so we can discuss this. What exactly is your grouse against Mr. Peter Obi and the Obedience?
Yes, so in the wake up to the 2023 general election, because I'm not political, I'm just expressing my thoughts about why the opposition should come together and unite against the criminal APC and roguish APC government that always rig elections. That if the opposition is divided, that there's no way they can win. I was just expressing my political thoughts and views. The idea of the Obi candidacy excited me, and I said, but that he needed the buy-in of Atiku and Kwankwaso. I even urged Kwankwaso to deputize Obi. I urged Atiku to step down for Peter Obi, and all that. So in the process of that analysis, just expressing my views, I also said the fact that Atiku has been running for president in perpetuity, that he cannot continue to run. I was just expressing my views as a Nigerian. So then Peter Obi all of a sudden started trying to reach out to me to meet me. But at that time I was out of the country. I think I was in Dubai or somewhere. So but he was persistent in reaching out to me, and I was avoiding him. But I didn't want to see him because I didn't want it to look like, because I've expressed my views, which seems to be like almost in his favor, he now wants to see me and corner me to be one of his supporters. But I don't want to support any politician because I'm not partisan. Because some people had already started even resigning from activism and joining him. So I didn't want to join his bandwagon. But I was excited by the idea of Peter Obi because, of course, Southeast has not produced a president in a very long time, except after post-independence anyway. So I was excited. So subsequently, I made some further views, and this time around he was more persistent. So one of his aide, a journalist, reached out to me. So we subsequently met, and I said yes. He first recommended me for some of my views and all that, and said that it would be exciting to work together. I said I'm not working with anybody. But I now made some observations about the things that he has been accused of doing in the past. Corruption. Sarah reporter reported the story where his staff was caught with money. He tried to explain it, but I was not satisfied. Then I also raised the issue about these issues of him using state resources in Anambra to invest in his family business. His explanation to me in his defense was that he had resigned from the company before he became a governor. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't just wait to get up to leave the place. I'm like, how can a man that wants to be president of Nigeria not see the clear abuse? You understand? That he has abused his office to do such a thing. He was justifying it. He didn't see anything wrong in it. I was completely disgusted. So eventually I didn't want to disrespect him, so I wanted to leave. And then he got into, because we're like in the living room, it's like a suite. Then he got into a room and said, please, he's coming. That he wants to go inside the room and he has something for me. So he brought one envelope or something like that. And said, no, this is just a small thing, it's just for coming, blah, blah, blah. I said, I laughed. I said, that means you don't know me. I said, and you are friends with Mimiko, former Governor Mimiko and others. There are people that was close to you. You'll have asked them about me. If we do anything because of conviction, it's even me that will bring out of my money and support you. So he kept insisting that it's not like that, it's not what I'm thinking. I said, God forbid, I left. So, however, I never revealed what happened to anyone. So I remember vividly, he went to, was it Egypt, to inspect some power something. At the peak of the Ekiti election, when his candidate in the Labour Party was running. So I criticized and said, you should be in Ekiti and not in Egypt. And I said, because you want to be president, you must go and campaign for your candidate and try to win. His aides, some of these young boys that are around him, started insulting me that the reason why I'm criticizing him now is because that I was saying that he was okay, he was good. That the reason why I'm criticizing him now is that I brought a proposal to him and I demanded, is it 200 million or something? And that he told me that I said, me? And these are his close aides. So they started doing that. So I said, oh, because I had observed the pattern about them, that they terrorize people online, insult people, slander people. His mob, his obedient mob, were practically uncontrollable during the last election. So I said, okay, so these people do not even want dissent of any kind, of criticism of their candidate of any kind. I said, okay, I said, I'm not going to even leave Tinubu alone and now face them, because we cannot have a situation in our country or in our polity where political extremism becomes the order of the day, and Nigerians are living witnesses to the things that eventually happened to the build-up of the last election. We have never had this kind of toxic political experience. Aside the Buharis, after the Buharis, the Obidient mob is the most toxic political movement that we have ever witnessed in this country. They threaten Supreme Court judges, Court of Appeal Court judges, threatening artists, threatening Professor Wole Soyinka, insulted everybody in this country because of Peter. And so, and what are the things I said? Everything I said is true. In a civil suit or criminal suit of defamation, justification, truth is a defense. What are the things I said? I said he's a political fraud, that he's parading himself as a messiah. Of course he is a political fraud. Didn't he swear that he will never leave Abga? That any day he leaves Abga, let something which I won't want to say on TV. Then he left Abga. The only thing that I forgot to say, among the things that he should not add to his defamation suit, is that he's a political prostitute. Hobnobbing. And look at what he said about the people that he wanted to defeat in the last election. He said they operate a structure of criminality, but today he's with them. He has one leg in PDP, they are discussing with him, another leg in ADC, and he's still a member of Labour Party. Confused politics.
You've done consistently, you're an activist, and you don't seem to be afraid to say your mind. But let's look through some of the other claims in that document that was addressed to you. Because a lot of people are wondering, why are you doing this? They see you, in this sense, demarketing Mr. Peter Obi in favor of the APC, because that's what it is in that sense, because you actually said it clearly, that rather than vote for Mr. Peter Obi on that first page, you said that you would rather give your vote to President Tinubu than to give it to Mr. Peter Obi. So a lot of people are asking, are you working with the APC? They always refer to your brother as well and say, oh, there's a certain Adeyanju working with government. So let's use this medium to speak to that. Are you defending the, or at least are you supporting the APC by demarketing Mr. Peter Obi?
Why will somebody like me, God forbid that I support APC, support APC for what?
But you said you'd rather give your vote to Mr. Tinubu.
If the opposition presents Peter Obi, I will vote Tinubu. Because we cannot have a situation where people, a man who leads a mob that terrorizes people online, that cannot tolerate criticism, that call people all sort of, anybody that does not support their candidate is an enemy of Nigeria. Anybody that does not support the candidate has been paid, has been compromised, is supporting the government. Who has Peter Obi criticized this government like the way I've criticized? Does Peter Obi even know what democracy is? What sacrifices has he made for democracy? Look, we have put our line on the line for this country, for preservation of democracy, at personal expense of prosecution. What kind of charges have we not faced in this country? At a time I was almost charged for terrorism. They've charged me for all kinds of offenses in this country. So what are we talking about? What does this person know about democracy or preservation of democracy, for God's sake? What we are saying is that we must sanitize our polity, that we cannot have a country where people who terrorize others, who do not appreciate that people have the right. Look at what they did to Joke Silva during the election. They had artists and Nollywood people supporting them. Nobody terrorized those people. But they terrorized that woman because, and other people, because she decided to support Tinubu in the last election. People have the right. I have the right. I have never voted a bad candidate, in my opinion, before. I have never voted a bad candidate before, in my opinion. In 1999, I voted Obasanjo. In 2003, I abstained. In 2011, I voted Goodluck Jonathan. In 2015, I voted Goodluck Jonathan again against the so-called lovers of democracy who wanted Buhari. I said, there is no way somebody like me can vote Buhari, a man who truncated democracy and his antecedent. And I was vindicated. I said, Buhari's mob, they will suppress freedom of speech, freedom of expression. They will drive Nigeria into autocracy and militocracy. And that was what happened. I was vindicated. In 2019, Buhari didn't even allow me to vote. He arrested me and locked me up in a prison in Kano because I couldn't vote. In 2023, I voted Omaile Sowore. So I have never voted a bad candidate before, in my opinion and in my view. And if the opposition makes the mistake of presenting Peter, I will vote Tinubu, just to prevent Peter Obi from emerging as president. Because we cannot have a nation
Mr. Adeyanju,
where the leader of the mob will run our country.